Hello, here I am one more time. My name is JC Paz, and in this lecture, I am going to create a Jupyter notebook to let you know how to use MySQL CRUD without using SQL queries. Imagine having a powerful tool that lets you shape and interact with vast amounts of data, whether you are building apps, analyzing trends, or managing information. That is exactly what MySQL allows you to do through CRUD: create, read, update, and delete. CRUD is your foundation, your toolkit for turning raw data into valuable insights and dynamic applications. Mastering these four actions opens the door to endless possibilities, enabling you to bring data to life in a way that is efficient, scalable, and impactful. Let us dive in and see how it all works. If you want to follow completely this lecture, you will need a new table inside one of your databases. In my case, it will be friends that you can create with the following query. As you can see, it has 5 fields: ID, name, anniversary, gender, and phone number. Just to check, this is the initial content of the table friends. After creating the table, let us interact with it through a Jupyter notebook. When I open the folder that contains my Jupyter notebooks, we can see a file, cnx_db with extension py. So now let me open the file and explain what it does. In some of my previous lectures, I already explained how with this code you can connect to a MySQL server using Protocol X that uses port 33060 in a binary mode. To keep some values hide from intruders, you can store the name of the host, the port number, the username, and its password in 4 environmental variables that you can read using the library OS. These values feed a dictionary condict that will be used to create a session using the library MySQLX. After the connection, the operating system will notify the connection of the user with the server. When we click the button to create a new notebook, a blank one appears to be filled with markup or code lines. The first is a markup with the label CRUD operations with tables using Protocol X. The next one with the label connect to the server Janus. And now the code to make a connection with the MySQL server. Here is where we use the cnx_db library. And receive the message from the server Janus. Now that we are connected, we can create variables to handle the schema with. My schema equals session get schema test. And my table equals my schema get table friends. The next code line refers to create a new record inside the table. We do it with myTable.insert values execute. We need to include which fields we want to insert. All in this case. And the appropriate values. After running the cell, using an external GUI tool, we can verify the right insertion. In the same way, we insert a second record. And a third one. After the insertion of these records, we can read or select the information stored, and we have many ways to create the command to read what we have inside the table. We can read just some fields, or using some conditions, just some or all. My data, as you can see, is a list of lists. Every record is a list, and all the records is a list of lists. In the next code lines, we have several ways to access the fields of a select command. First, we can read all the records in the table just displaying the names. Or we can read all the records displaying the names and the gender. We can display just the second record and its associated gender. Or just the name in the second record. We can select to display the name and anniversary of those records whose gender is M. And we have two, Julian and Robert. We can display Robert as the second in this list. To show you the way to make more complex readings, I am inserting 3 more records. And I am going to copy a select command to list all the records first and then to modify it to search by gender. In this list we have the males. And now all females whose name begins with the letters BR. And now females whose name begins with letter B. Now everyone whose name begins with J. And everyone whose name begins with R. In this next section we are using the update or modify command. We are changing the name to Julian in a record that has a name Julian, but also, we are changing the gender to F. The next update changes the name to Iadali to someone that was Anita, the gender to M, and the anniversary date and phone number also. Here the change takes place only if the name and gender check correctly. After making these changes, let us list all the records. We see the changes. And from all these records we select one to be deleted, and we can do it also with several conditions. We choose the simplest one. So these are the 4 CRUD operations that we can perform with the records of a table without using SQL with Protocol X. Many people do not like structured query language, and using No-SQL with Protocol X is the way to take advantage of databases using classes and no queries. I am going to stop here. I hope you liked this lecture, recommend the video, please subscribe to be notified, and do not forget to give a like, and this way I can continue doing videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you in the next. Bye.